Welcome, Tom. It's good to have you in the Economic War Room.
Well, thank you very much. Pleased to be here.
You know, you're a pretty eclectic guy, investments, author, speaker, playwright, but you're outspoken on one subject that caught my attention. Numerous articles and speeches where you talked about wokeism and the threat that it is and how we're in a war in America over that, a new civil war. Can you describe it?
Yeah, I call it, I change names, as I told you before, frequently, but we are in a war against something I call the woke regime. And regime is an important word because it implies a way of life, the American way of life and the woke way of life. And they're 100% or totally incompatible. They're utterly irreconcilable. So in our understanding of justice in America, it's about free people pursuing happiness. It's very simple. In the woke understanding of justice, it's about the state imposing quotas by groups, blacks, Latinos, gays, whatever it is. Now, those can't go together. I mean, you can have admissions to colleges, to flight schools, to medical schools based on merit, or you can do it by quotas. You can't do both. So one way I frame this debate is the merit regime versus the group quota machine. In politics, it's often the case that people need a binary choice, pro-choice, pro-life, pro-social, pro-capitalism. So I think it's important for leaders to frame it. I suggest to them, I just wrote a new piece without digressing too much, but Jim Banks, a very impressive congressman from Indiana, now running for Senate, he just set up an anti-woke caucus, which I think is a big deal because, he's elevating this issue to importance. So maybe I'll stop. Lost my train of thought. Yeah. So
well, that comparison, you talk about the woke, but another way to frame it is the recognizing the value of the individual versus a forced recognition of a group. And so it doesn't matter which class you're in. You can be gay, you can be straight, you can be black, you can be white. It doesn't matter. In the first system, you recognize the individual, the talent, the opportunity, and you don't have a quota because it all happens at the individual level based on merit. The other is regardless of your merit, your skin color determines your future. And I grew up thinking that was evil and wrong to judge people solely based on their skin color, but apparently the new woke does that.
Yeah, no, your point is right. It says all men are created equal. It doesn't say all groups are created equal. And we know that groups, men versus women, various subcultures, they have different talents, different interests, right? And so if you let individuals be free, what you're going to find is group differences in various areas of human life. The most obvious is women and men. Women value different things. And frankly, they're better at different things, despite what the woke people tell us. And so, they're less likely to be in the top echelons, not because they're not capable, but those are 60-hour-a-week jobs and raising kids, 16-hour-a-week jobs, and you just can't do both. But the point is, if you let individuals pursue happiness, you're going to end up with an inequality of results. And the only way, and this seems to me very important, the only way you can create equality of result is by force and ultimately by tyranny. And, that's what's so dangerous. And I think our political leaders, as you said, haven't, but really ought to impress upon us that this is a challenge like communism, like Nazism before it.